So you want to read more books, but you don't know where to start? Or you are a complete beginner who used to read before but have gotten off the bandwagon? Or you're completely new to the reading game and you're looking for books that might get you started? This video is for you. Stay tuned. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Pooja at A Book by the Window. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are reading. It's a very sultry Sunday evening in California. The sun is about to just go down and this is the only time I got today to shoot this video, so that's what I'm doing. But I'm very excited to get into today's video. But before I get into the video, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. And if you're an old subscriber, welcome back to the channel. I do book related videos here. I also have a main channel that's linked in the description box below. So if you want to check that out, that's also there. But for today, let's get into the video. Today, I'm very excited to share with you 5 fantastic books that are perfect for beginners. It's a mix of fiction and non-fiction. And I believe these are the perfect size, genre, and the interest level that can help get you back into reading. And these books are for everyone: teenagers, young adults, adults like me, even people older than me. Range from both fiction and non-fiction. And I hope you guys find this video useful and pick a book or few from the list. First one on the list that I have for you is Convenience Store Women by Sayaka Murata. This is a very quirky, witty, and engaging book that follows Kaiko Furukara, a young woman who have been working in a convenience store in Tokyo for almost 18 years. She's 30 years old now, but as soon as she turned 18, she started working in this convenience store, and that has been her adult life all across. Despite the social pressure outside the convenience store, act a certain way, to be a certain way, she finds great solace in the identity that she derives from being a worker at the convenience store. I don't want to get into the crux of the book too much, not to reveal a lot, but at the time when I read this book, it was around 3 years ago, and I was also struggling with my own identity, stressed at work, and thinking of the worldview in a different manner. And when this book arrived, I took it with open arms. When I read it, I remember I was sitting in a park in London and it was a sunny afternoon. And whenever I read books that are sort of dystopian or they change my perspective or worldview, I always get amazed. I take it to my grave. So when I read it, I got a very striking view of how we look at our work relationships, how sometimes toxic or non-toxic relationship we have with our own work, productivity, and the identity that we derive around it. Sometimes it is the only source of happiness for us also, and sometimes when that doesn't happen, it becomes a sore wound in our identity. It affects our confidence. So it's a mix of all of these things. It lets you think. It is certainly so thought-provoking. Whenever I feel like I'm working like a machine, I go back to this character and I would like to believe that I have not become a convenience store woman. One of my favorite quotes from the books is, "I'm now 36-year-old and the convenience store is my life. I have become part of the machinery of society far more usefully than a so-called normal person who is useless and unemployed." This book is a quick read with a very simple language, so I believe readers of all levels can pick this one up. It's also a very small book, and Murata's writing is engaging and accessible. Kyoko's story will leave you with a different perspective in life and something to think about your own identity and the pressure to maintain it. Next up on the list, I have The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint. I'm sorry if I'm massacring the pronunciation. I don't know French. I'm not a French person. But this is a book that is originally intended for kids. Like, it's a very thin book. It is written as a fairy tale for children, but when I have read it over the years, I have gone back to the quotes. I have found it really wholesome. I believe it is for readers of all kind, and that is why it is a timeless classic. It tells the story of a young prince who goes from planet to planet, meeting various inhabitants and bringing his lessons along the way. These lessons he impart in the form of small poems in the book, and although it is an old book, it has span over centuries. it still remains relevant and it still brings you joy. One of the most memorable quotes from the book is, "It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye." The book essentially explores themes of love, loss, and the importance of human connection. Its simplicity, yet its depth, makes it a perfect read for beginners who want to get into reading and not just pick up one book, get done with it, and never read a book again. I believe all of these books are intended to get you back to reading and keep you going more. So I will definitely recommend this one. Third book on the list is Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. Rainbow Rowell is a very popular author who writes romance novels. I've only read 2 books by her, and this was the first one that I read. Now, I'm not a lot into romance novels, but I do get into this trap of reading popular books. I think this was around 5 years ago that I happened to come across this book, and I bought it on my Kindle. I did not even have a physical copy of it, and I went into thinking, oh, I'm not gonna like it too much. And I really do hope it's not one of those coming of age, teenage, YA romance novels. No shade to them, but it's not what I prefer reading all the time. But when I did go into it, I felt it has a lot more depth, a lot more story, and it just demonstrates the complex relationship that two humans who are trying to come into a relationship experience at a young age, or even when we grow old. All of us has our own insecurities, and we are very afraid to be vulnerable in front of people, more so when we are in a stage where we are trying to find a partner or build up a relationship with someone that we really like. That age was very special, very precious to all of us, and we have grown old or haven't grown old. I don't know what kind of viewers are watching this video, but in all stages of life, that innocence mixed with a bit of spiciness and charm and trying to win the other person over, that always stays with you, because it was a very naughty plus innocent age of your life. And when you read this book, you're gonna go back into that time and you will find yourself smiling and chuckling. This heartwarming YA novel is about two misfit high school sophomores who fall in love over mixtapes and comic books in the 1980s. As I said, it is a beautifully crafted story about love, acceptance, and self-identity. This is a quote that I find very touching from the book. Eleanor was right. She never looked nice. She looked like art, and art wasn't supposed to look nice. It was supposed to make you feel something. The writing of the book is very captivating and relatable, making it a very good fit to be on this list for beginners. The characters are both wonderfully written with a lot of depth and intricacies, and it's both very tender and intense at the same time. It is a great read for someone who is new to YA literature and wants to read more fun, quirky reads without feeling like they are reading the same run-of-the-mill literature. Next, and the fourth book on the list, is Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. This is a book that I very popularly recommend. It is one of my most favorite books because when I read it, I did not know that a book like this can exist that's both motivational and so funny. Like, it is one of the books that I have read the quickest, the fastest, and I felt like I also got a story out of it, and I got so many laughs out of it. It's not very hard to read. It is a non-fiction, so if you're someone who do not like to read a lot of fiction books, this could be a book for you to get into reading more of memoirs, autobiography, where you also get a story and it's not entirely a self-help book. This memoir is by the host of The Daily Show. You might have come across him sometimes in your life, Trevor Noah, and he tells a hilarious tale of what it meant like to grow up in an apartheid era of South Africa back in the days, and how him and his family had to overcome so many obstacles and yet find humor in their everyday life. I found more than his story, the character of his mother and how he describes her with so much resilience and so much confidence. She stole the show, and it is one of those stories where you would feel like this cannot be true. All of the stories that are being told in the narrative sound over the top, but in reality, when you look around you, you also find stories like these. So they are completely believable. And with it, the salt of humor that Trevor Noah adds to it, it just gives it a different dimension. There is this popular quote from the book, I was born a crime. When you are a mixed child, you have to be hidden away. And you will find the relevance of this quote if you go about reading this book. I'm not going to get into it. Pick it up for yourself and find it for yourself. The last book, the fifth one on the list, is also another non-fiction. It is a sort of autobiography, half memoir. I added this one because I feel it is a very motivational book, and it also doubles up as a self-help book if you are wanting to read something like that. And I personally do better with storytelling or a book that has story at its crux and is trying to teach you something. It is a very popular book, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor F. Frankl. I have gifted this book to people. I have read this book at multiple stages in my life, and I've always found it to be useful and valuable. It always gives me a different perspective whenever I feel like I am complaining too much or I am feeling like I'm not too grateful for my life. In that moment, I pick this one up and read a few pages of it, and I am brought back to reality. This is a very profound and inspiring book, which is part written as a memoir, part written as a psychological exploration. Frankl is a Holocaust survivor. He was taken to a concentration camp, and he describes his experience of living there day to day, how survival was so important there, and how he coped, what were his thoughts. He writes all of that in his journal. He was able to escape from the concentration camp, and what follows is he analyzes and he thinks about all the other prisoners and the human psyche of war and suffering and pain. I find it very heartbreaking. I find it very painful. At one end, humans show so much compassion, and on the other, those are the same humans who go about doing all of these war crimes. Definitely a hard read, but it is also a thin book. It's also written in a very easy prose. There is nothing very complex. It's very straightforward, and it also engages you in a way that you are not able to reel yourself out of it. I don't know if it is a good or a bad thing for people, but if you want to get back into reading and see how different perspective reading can bring to you, these are the books that you should explore. I'm going to end this by a quote from the book. Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Frankl himself is a psychologist and a philosopher, and his insights into human resilience and human connection is very impactful. Although it is a very small book, it brings a lot of substance to the table, and this is one of those books that you should not miss out on. So there you have it, a very comprehensive list of 5 books that can get you back into reading. This is perfect for beginners of all kind, is a mix of different kind of books, and I get requests like this very often. That is why I made this video. If you want a part 2 or a part 3 or a different kind of list specific to a particular topic or a genre, please let me know in the comment section below, or any other feedback. I'm always happy to provide. I hope you guys like these videos. I am having a lot of fun making these videos. I do it part-time, but I've always been a big reader, always liked reading books. And if I'm getting to talk about it like this in a different format, I'm also learning to do a lot of video editing, what kind of videos work, going back to the analytics, but also bringing the essence of reading, what it means to me, and how it can change people's life. That's what I am trying to do here. So if you are someone like that, I would greatly appreciate your support here. And that's it. That's about it. I'm going to enjoy my Sunday now. And if you like this video, please like it, share it with your friends, comment down below, and please subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys next time. Happy reading.